Welcome to this edition of Dufferin Life. I'm your host, Teena Avery. Thank you so much for tuning in. Spring is upon us. Summer's just around the corner. And with that comes the flurry of wanting to figure out what you want to do on weekends, how you want to keep busy, and take advantage of all the many amazing events that happen within Dufferin County. What if there was an event that happened weekly, say on Fridays, and each Friday something a little bit different was happening, but there was lots to do for you, your family, your friends, and everybody around you. Well, joining me today we have Carol Maitland. She is the Economic Development Officer for the town of Shelburne, and she's going to tell us about an amazing event or amazing events that are happening. Carol, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It's truly my pleasure. So I'm going to let you talk about what the event is and give us a little bit of an idea of what to expect, and then we'll go into a little bit more detail.
Okay, so we are hosting 5 events starting on June 14th with the Campfire Poets. The events run until August 30th. Each event is filled with all sorts of activity. So our first one, we have Drew Ripley, who's also going to a balloon a balloon master. Mm-hmm. He is going to be doing a magic show. At the end of the show, there's a big surprise, which I won't get into.
And we're not going to tell you anything about it. She didn't even tell me. So.
And the Campfire Poets, who are amazing. Mm-hmm. They'll be playing. All the events that we host at the town at Jack Downing Park are free.
Okay.
They're intended to be family events. So each event is featuring a different artist, is featuring face painting, slime making. We have one event that's occurring on July 19th, which has Naomi Bistow and Tim Ronan. We have Bhangra dancers at that event. We have Indigenous drummers and also a hoop dancer also attending. So each event is designed to be filled with fun activities.
Okay, so Fridays in the Park is how you can, or is what it's called. So let's talk about where the concept of Fridays in the Park began, because this is, I believe, your second year doing this.
Yeah, it is the second year. The focus of the events is to drive to drive visitors to the town of Shelburne. So it started off as a way to basically promote our local businesses, also to increase business, especially post-COVID. Mm-hmm. So we were looking for ideas of how we could stimulate our economy. Okay. So the events are purposely designed so that when you come to the event, we're hoping that you will shop in our downtown and visit our restaurants, and each of the restaurants that are participating in the event are offering specials. So the idea is obviously, yes, we want you to have fun, but we also want you to explore our town.
Well, I think one of the things that I've talked about a lot on the show, and one of the things that I find vitally important for not just our town and our county, is supporting local businesses. Mm-hmm. And I think, if you've not been to Shelburne and you live in Orangeville, shame on you, but you're going to go up to Shelburne, you're going to go and join these events, but there's so many unique little shops on the main strip that and around the town that I think people aren't aware of.
Yeah. I mean, one of the really interesting stores that we have is a little tile store. It's called the Tile Company. It's probably one of the best tile stores that I've seen in Dufferin County. It's amazing. Okay. And it's this little hidden gem. Mm-hmm. But there are some amazing restaurants. There's a Tipsy Fox. There's the couple pizza places in the downtown core. There's the Duffy, which is literally right beside where the concert's going to be held. Right. So there's a lot of really interesting places where people can eat and just, tour the town.
And that's really important. And that's a very important aspect of what you're doing for sure. Being part of the town of Shelburne, it's a matter of, supporting local. And within Dufferin County, like I said, we have a lot of great events, but maybe your Fridays aren't booked, or maybe you can come out to one or two. And if you've never been up to Shelburne, I encourage you to do that. Years and years ago, we're going off topic here, but years and years ago, I used to actually coach gymnastics and teach dancing in Shelburne I'm not even going to date it. It was a long time ago when I used to do that. And, and just the growth I've seen since I've done that has been phenomenal. I don't think everyone realizes how fast Shelburne is growing.
Yeah. Well, in 2016, we were the fastest growing community in Ontario. Wow. Second fastest in Canada. So it absolutely, Shelburne has grown quite a bit. Mm-hmm. But we want people to come and really visit our downtown core. Yes. Not all the businesses will be open, but it's nice to do some window shopping as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and see what's there and make a trip back and go have some lunch. And
exactly.
There's so many different things you can do. So other than the economic drive to bring people to Shelburne. Why are events like this important?
Well, they're a great way to introduce people to our community, for sure. It's also fantastic for the artist. I think that everyone has struggled through COVID, and I think this is a great way to get people back outside, get them involved in activities and family activities and fun things for their kids to do. So it's all around. It's just a fantastic way for people to socialize and also meet maybe new people, new businesses. So it's just a great way to encourage people to get together.
I agree, and I think the community's ever changing. So we have lots of events around town, but you just never know who you might meet when you're there, and those connections that you make.
Exactly.
And knowing that you're supporting local businesses as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic.
So where did the concept of doing this come from?
Well, it started actually as when we do the hashtag Support the Burn initiative, we wanted to do something else for our businesses in the community. So the hashtag Support the Burn initiatives is a marketing program that we run for businesses that are registered, and it's free marketing.
Okay.
So we do radio ads, newspaper ads, and we also do social media. So we were brainstorming, and we were trying to think of a way to get people back out, especially post-COVID, because everyone, I think everyone felt isolated, and I certainly know that the businesses suffered. So this was a way this idea stemmed from that.
Okay, so you've got a mix of things, and it's meant for families, so you can bring your families or grab a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a friend or a stranger on the street. Well, don't grab the stranger on the street. Like, you don't want to pull them along unless you know who they are. But you definitely want to come out and see what everything has to offer. But so how did you go? Is it like a team of people that plan the event? Is it? It's not only, I'm an event planner, and I know how much it takes, especially for a community event to happen.
And it is. I work with an amazing team of people at the town of Shelburne, and I'm going to do shout out for Chantal and Melissa Kenny, who are also heavily involved, and Jamie Caskey. So yes, it is a team of us who pull this together, and we have been working on this since November of 2000.
I was going to say, did you start the day after it ended?
Pretty much last year. Yeah,
it does. It takes a lot to pull an event together, and especially a community event, because there's a lot more involved. I've planned events for 20 years, so I'm longer, but there's so many intricate things involved. But when you're doing it as a community event, there are safety features you have to consider. There's parking. There's all you have to kind of
stage, lighting, sound. Yes. Yeah. There is a ton of moving parts. Absolutely. Certainly.
So one really important thing we have to talk about is slime making, because you said that and I'm like, woo, okay.
Yeah.
So I remember slime. Oh my gosh, I'm aging myself a lot in this segment, but a long time ago we used to buy slime, and it was like in a garbage can, and it would make noises, and we would do things. Is that the type of slime we're talking about?
Yes, we are talking about slime. We have 2 slime booths, and it's usually very, very popular. And the beauty of this event is everything is free. So you can come out and you can make some slime, you can listen to a concert, you can watch a children's entertainer. So it really is intended to be a fun evening for your family and friends.
Is there food at the event, or it's the restaurants that are supporting?
We want people to attend the restaurants.
Okay.
This year we're going to try something a little different, where we're going to have an app so you can order your food online and then just pick it up. But again, the intention is that you will hopefully visit one of the local restaurants, right? So we don't have like food trucks or anything like that. Yeah.
But yeah.
There is a couple of vendors that will be selling food. So we do have vendors as well.
Okay.
And we're hoping to attract more vendors.
Okay.
So, but for the most part, the food that is available at the event is the intention is for people to visit the local restaurants.
Wonderful. So you are looking for more vendors
We
to
are
come out
looking
and
for more
participate.
vendors. Absolutely.
So what types of vendors do you have so far?
So right now, the vendors that we have someone who's making freeze-dried candy. We have a lady who makes samosas. We have a woodworker. So it's a nice mix of different. We're going to also have a lawyer who's going to be there, who's going to be promoting his services. So it's not all the vendors do not have to be food or items. It can be services as well.
Wonderful. So at an event like this, do you look for volunteers within the community to help out?
We do. Okay. We do look for volunteers, and I believe we have 2 volunteers kind of already lined up, and then there's also 2 staff persons.
Okay. So give us a kind of a snapshot of what it was like last year, maybe how many people, and maybe how it may have changed or grown for this year.
So typically we were attracting anywhere between 150 to 400 people per event.
Okay.
And this year we're hoping to actually double those numbers.
Okay.
We are advertising outside of Dufferin County as well as in Dufferin County. So we're hoping that to attract a lot more people because it's a fairly large space. So we have Jack Downing Park, which is located at William and Main Street, which is literally across the town hall. But we block that William Street off. Okay. So we have that entire street. So we have a lot of space. We're hoping we want it to be like a party atmosphere, like coming to a festival. So we absolutely want to attract more people. Yeah.
Well, and I think that's it too. I mean, when you start an event for the first time out, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, I've been doing this for a long time too, but you're just like crossing your fingers like people are going to come out, but then you're like, okay, it came out and we did a successful type of event and we're getting there. So next time you're like, you want to double, you want to and continue to build.
Yeah.
So is there parking around the area?
Yep, there's parking. The park backs onto a parking space. So there's parking along Main Street as well, and there's also parking at Town Hall. And there's another parking lot just across the street from Town Hall, so there's tons of parking. But the entire town, certainly for anyone living in Shelburne, the entire town is walkable, so you can just walk to the park as well. It is bring your own chair.
Okay.
We provide some picnic tables, but we encourage people to bring chairs and just have fun and just enjoy the evening.
And I think that's what it's all about. Let's go out into the community. Let's have some fun. Let's, bring your chair, pack your little bags of whatever you need to bring with you and just go out and meet people and enjoy music and activities for the kids and that sort of thing. So we have a little bit less than a minute left available. So I'm going to let you tell everybody one more time when and where and why they should come.
So we have 5 dates: June 14th, June 21, July 5th, July 19th, and August 30th.
Okay.
Each event starts at 6 p.m. and runs to 9 p.m. Okay. Sometimes a little later because some of the bands like to play a little extra, and there's always encores. With the exception of the July 19th date, we have a community garage sale.
Okay.
So we're encouraging community members to also participate in that event.
Okay.
But that event starts at 4 o'clock, and the garage sale will run from 4 to 7.
Awesome.
So it takes place at Jack Downing Park, which is located across the street from Town Hall. And it's rain or shine, it's outdoors.
Okay.
And we have a full stage, we have
so many things
speakers,
to do for everybody.
Everything.
Wonderful. Carol, I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for tuning in, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. So we're still on.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
On Rogers TV, we have a reality show like no other. It has a great cast of characters. Some you may have even helped land the role. Each episode has something different. Plans are devised, decisions are made, votes are cast, and money is spent. It's local reality TV that you won't want to miss. And it's exclusive to Rogers Cable customers. Catch your municipal council coverage on Rogers TV. Visit rogerstv.com for broadcast details.
Welcome back to Dufferin Life. Thanks for staying with us if you're just tuning in. As always, you're tuning in at a great time. So there is an event that's happening. It's happening locally. We always talk about local, and it's the very first event of its type. Joining me today, we have Emma Martins. She's a farm manager for Avalon Lavender Farms. Thank you so much for joining us, Emma.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm glad you're here as well, because I always love to talk about new things that are happening in the community, and we live in such a great community, so why not talk about this? So let's talk about the Avalon Lavender Festival. Tell me a little bit about it.
So our festival is happening June 30th and July 1st. It's our first annual festival, and we plan to have around 70 to 100 market vendors.
Amazing.
Just right on the farm, just right in the middle of the fields, selling all kinds of amazing stuff. Sorry.
That's okay. So we're going to have a lot of vendors for sure. So do you know what some of the vendors are? Like, you know, obviously I'm not going to ask you to name all 100 of them, but just the types of vendors. Like,
I'm not too sure.
Okay.
But I know that we're going to have, well, of course, Avalon is one of the vendors, and things that range from maybe little knickknacks to maybe we'll have some produce here and there. Maybe we'll be selling our chicken eggs. We have free-range chickens on the farm, so a lot of customers really enjoy to see that.
Okay, so let's talk about this. So you're managing this farm. How big is this farm?
So the farm itself is 55 acres.
Okay.
About 10 acres of that is dedicated to our 31,000 lavender plants.
Wow.
We have both English and French lavender cultivars.
Okay.
About 7 different kinds mixed between both those varieties.
Okay, well, I'm going to cut you off right there and go, I didn't know there was that many types of lavender. I'm like one purple thing, it grows and it smells lovely and it relaxes you when you do things and that sort of thing. So let's talk about the different types of lavender.
So there's a whole bunch of different types. But on the farm, we have 7.
Okay.
We have about 2 to 3 French lavenders,
okay,
and about 4 English lavender cultivars. Cultivar is just basically a fancy word for variety.
Okay.
We use our English for our edible products, such as our lavender white hot chocolate or our simple syrup, and then we like to use our French lavender for our perfume products like our sprays or our essential oil.
And that was probably leading into my next question with regards to what you can do with lavender plants, other than the fact that when you walk into the fields it's absolutely stunning and beautiful. But you have over 30,000 plants, you said?
Yeah, so we have about 31,000 plants. They were all planted by hand by our staff and just the rest of our community. We planted them at around 2020 to 2021, so they're at full maturity now, which is amazing to see. Our lavender plants are they vary a lot. We have a Melissa plant, which is actually white with pink flowers.
Okay.
We find that that extracts a lot of oils, so we like to use that for our oil, and we also like to use that for our hydrosol spray. That's called our fresh lavender spray.
Okay.
We find that a lot of customers really like it because it's really fresh and it just kind of brings a good mood to any space.
Well, here's the thing. So I, as we all know, am not a gardener. I don't know much about plants. I just learned that there's that there's more than one color of lavender plants. So there's different colors. So you just said it had white with pink flowers.
Yes.
What other colors can you find lavender in?
You can find varying shades of purple, actually.
Okay.
So, for example, the first 5 rows that we have on the field, it's a cultivar called Fulgate, which is an English lavender, but that's more of a lighter purple.
Okay.
And then towards the back of the field, we have a lavender called Hidcote Blue, and that's a very deep, dark purple. That's my personal favorite. And it's really interesting to see because some of them grow longer stems than others, and we kind of find that out when we're harvesting. There's differing techniques per cultivar of lavender.
Okay. So let's talk, like, when is lavender in season?
So we meticulously planted different kinds of lavender so that we'll have them blooming throughout June to August. So throughout the beginning of the season, late June to early July, our English lavender is in bloom. And then towards end of July, early August, that's when our French lavender will be in bloom.
Okay. So you've got the whole summer to come out and see the farm.
Yes.
And I think I've seen something online where you can actually come and cut some lavender at some point.
So that will be an extra $10 for just a bag.
Okay.
It fits around $30 to $40 worth of lavender, so it's actually a pretty good deal at the end. But what we'll do is we'll direct you to our field. We'll have a certain garden where you will be cutting the lavender, and we'll actually just teach you how to harvest the lavender right out on the field. A lot of people love it. We also find some people plucking the wildflowers from the property and putting that in their bouquet as well, so it's really beautiful.
Okay. So yeah, you had mentioned, we were talking off camera, and we were talking about the fact that you've just got some wildflowers that grow around, and you mentioned something about birds. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes. So we have wildflowers that grow around the property through our river walk, but then we also have a bird sanctuary. So it's basically just a piece of land, of our land, that we've kept to just grow itself so that it can be a safe place for any birds or animals to kind of just do their thing. A lot of the time when you're walking by or if we're driving by, we see flocks of birds flying around. A few weeks ago I saw a bunch of yellow finches, some indigo buntings, so it's really, really beautiful when you're walking past.
Oh, that sounds amazing and very relaxing, along with the smell of lavender, because the lavender, if you didn't know that, it can definitely relax you when you're stressed out for a lot of things.
Yes.
So, but let's talk, I'm going to talk about you. I want to know a little bit about, like, how did you get into doing this?
I actually saw a listing on Facebook for a job.
Okay.
And I was just out of my first year of university, so I was really looking for a full-time position. But I go to school in the city. I don't like the city too much. I really like farm life and just being out in the country. So I thought it was an amazing opportunity. My boss, the owner, really took a leap of faith in me because I didn't have much work experience prior to working here. And it was such an amazing year. I literally have come back every single year since, it's been 3 years now.
Amazing.
So I'm really excited to begin another season. When the lavender's in bloom, it's just a magical place, and everyone who works there really adores it.
So let's talk about, like, the property. You mentioned a river, like you can a river walk and that sort of thing. So when people come out to the farm, just we're going to talk more about the festival, but and different events that happen. But when people just come out to the farm, like, what should they expect? Like, what can they do?
You can really do so much. So you can really come in for about 30 minutes if you wanted a quick, short visit. But then we'll have other customers coming from when we open, which is at around 10 o'clock, to when we close, which is at 8 o'clock.
Wow.
So it's really up to you. We highly encourage you bring your own picnic, or we actually do offer a picnic weekly in partnership with Piano. You can find more information about that online at our website, which is avalonlavenderfarm.ca. And then we offer free horse feed. So we have about 5 rescue horses on the farm. You can come upstairs to our barn boutique, which is where you'll do most of your shopping. And we'll give you a cup of horse feed for you to feed the horses, which is a really fun experience for everyone.
Okay, you just caught me on the horses. I love horses. So they're rescues, you said?
Yeah, so we have 5 rescue horses.
Oh my gosh.
One of them's an ex-race horse. 2 of them are ex-working horses. They each really have cool individual stories. So it's really cool to see their bond and how they've adapted to their own kind of pack.
That's amazing. I love horses. I'm going to have to come out and see some horses.
We'd love to see
And
you
lots
there.
of lavender. Lots of lavender.
Yes.
And like I said, I just learned that there's white ones with pink flowers. This is all very new to me. And this is why I do things and bring people like you on to let people know and create some awareness about things that are happening, not just about the events. Now, you mentioned piano. So let's go back to that. That's a different event that you have throughout the season?
Yeah, so that's a luxury picnic that we're hosting throughout the summer. We did it last season for about 4 times, once every month. And then this summer it was really everyone really liked it, so we brought it back every weekend. It'll be every Saturday. It'll be a family style, which was really highly requested last year. So we're going to have a long table in the middle of both lavender fields, and they'll be able to enjoy a really fun, beautiful, unique dining experience together.
Well, that's like almost like a farm to table experience,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Where you're eating things that are local and you're going out and having an experience. That sounds like a lot of fun, for sure. So, I'm not sure what you're going to school for, but I mean, is this something that you want to do long term? Like,
I don't necessarily go to school for like agriculture or anything, but I have a huge passion for it. I love the lavender farm. I love saying that I'm a lavender farmer. Not many people get to do that. It's a really cool thing. I love animals. I'm a huge animal lover. I really encourage just protecting them and, treating them nicely. And I've done a lot of research on animal sanctuaries and just animal rehabilitation centers even around the area. So it's a huge passion for me. I'm thinking of pursuing something in that after I finish this degree, kind of getting another degree or another school, just degree for that.
Okay.
But I really do love the farm, and I have been able to bring it throughout my everyday life. It's taught me a lot of lessons, and it's given me a lot of work experience, which is amazing as well.
Well, let's talk about the actual farming. Like, what is the process of farming lavender?
So lavender is a very picky plant, doesn't like too much water. It needs to be protected throughout the winter time, otherwise it won't grow back in the summer. So what we did, they started out as little bulbs, so they were really tiny babies. We planted each plant by hand.
Wow.
And every season we harvest them, maintain them, we go through each plant individually to make sure that they each get the proper, love and care. When they're babies, you have to harvest them regularly so that you encourage the root to grow deeper in the ground, so it makes them stronger. And then in the winter time, it's extremely important that you cover them with a breathable cloth material to protect them from frost, because if they're hit by the frost, then the chances of them not growing is a lot higher.
Okay. And did the farm start with 33,000, or does it build every year, or is that yeah.
Fun fact, we planted it all in one weekend. So
how many people does it take to plant 33,000?
We were very gracious that the community came and they joined us it was an amazing day. It was a really rewarding weekend for sure, and it made us really excited for what we've built.
That's phenomenal. I mean, I know that the community is phenomenal, but I mean, that's a lot of plants to get done in one day.
It was a lot. I think it was over the course of 2 days. It was a weekend, but it was a lot for sure.
That would be, and I mean, and you would have to be very specific. Like there's, I mean, I would imagine with different plants, some you have to plant lower, something like
yes.
So you're trusting the community to take those little bulbs and make those babies.
They did a good job too.
They did,
it all grew wonderfully.
That's wonderful. So is there? I know you said so to harvest it. Is it just a matter of cutting? Like, is there a special process to harvesting?
So harvesting is really the main thing you need to know is not to cut too far into the plant.
Okay.
Because if you cut past a certain part, then it won't regrow. But we usually go out in a team, and we'll either use a hedge trimmer if we're trying to clean up the plant, or we'll go in with this kind of knife material thing that we have.
Okay.
And we'll bundle them each separately, and we'll put that in water so that we can either sell the fresh lavender or use it for products, or we'll actually just hang dry it in our barn, which we use as a workshop as well.
I'm curious about the edible products. I mean, we just have a little bit of time, but I mean, what you had mentioned them. What type of edible products can you make with lavender?
You can do a whole bunch of edible products. Honestly, lavender is so versatile. It's an amazing plant. We recommend using the English lavender for edible products. French lavender is edible, however, it's a bit more soapier, so a lot of people prefer the English. So we've made steak and fish seasoning with it. We've made just regular baking buds that you can put in any kind of shortbread cookie, and with those buds you could really just grind them up, make a simple syrup out of them, make lavender sugar with it. You can do a lot. We make simple syrup, lavender white hot chocolate.
Sounds absolutely amazing and delicious. So you need to check out the Avalon Lavender Festival, June 30th and July 1st. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you for joining me. Until next time, bye-bye for now.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdswell, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas,